Hi guys, this is Kristen from APO Creations, here with another video. So this video is actually a collaboration video for autumn 2024 with MiniScenesGB and Crafty YouTubers United. So I put the link in the description below. God, talking is hard for me today. Okay, so as you can see, I am going to be doing an autumn themed tumbler. So I did mix up, I don't know, it's maybe 5 mils of epoxy. So I am going to put this on here, and you just want like a super, super thin coat. Normally I have a different holder, but I wanted to be able to videotape this, so I'm doing it at my resin crafting area. So I had to use this arm, so unfortunately I can't take it off because it's connected. So basically just make a nice thin coat. You just got to make sure that you got it all covered, because this is what I'm going to use to put my glitter on. And this is actually what they call a strip cup. And what this does is, oh, hang on, let me turn this actually, by doing this right here, it keeps the resin from, or it keeps the glitter from showing the lines that from when I put my epoxy on. So you just let it run like this for a little bit. I actually used my Flynn Sisters Artist Cure epoxy resin, and I'm gonna be, okay, let me back up a second. So I actually used Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover Flat Red, and no, it's not the lighting. This is what they call flat red. Yeah, kind of looks brown to me, but whatever. So I'll be using 3 different glitters, all from PDB Creative Studio. The first one is Fireball, and it is a multi-size mix. The second one is called Blaze of Glory, and it is also a multi-shape and size mix, because I think it's got like little stars or something in there, or hexagons, I'm not sure. And then the other one I'll be using is a multi-shape size mix, but it's kind of fine and almost a little bit holographic. Like you can kind of see the shifty. It's really, really pretty. But it's a finer mix. All right, so let me go get some paper. Okay, so the first one I'm going to put down is Fireball. So you try and put your glitter on from a little bit higher up. because when you do, it lays flatter, which means that you don't have to put as many coats of resin on later. I'm sorry that my hand is in the way. I'm trying to do this and all right. And I know this sounds weird that I'm doing this, but I am actually tossing it on the bottom so I can get the bottom covered. Because normally what I do is I take it off the turner and then put it and I kind of sprinkle it on the bottom, but I can't do that because this arm is connected to the turner. So okay, so give me a second, clean up this. Okay. All right, so the next color, oops, I already used that, is the Blaze of Glory. And this has got bigger chunks. Yeah, it's got big stars on it in it. Okay. Okay, the last color I'm using is the Copper Sand. But basically, this is just going to kind of fill in the gaps. You're still going to be able to see the chunky glitter underneath it. Okay. Okay, so basically now I'm just going to take a gloved hand and pat down any of the chunky glitter that has decided it wants to stick up. Okay, so what I didn't do was record the part where I put the removable vinyl onto the tumbler. I cut it out with my Cricut. So because I'm doing a peekaboo. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting, and you see all those little purple spots? That was all the Cricut removable vinyl that I put on the tumbler. So I put 2 coats of the Aleene's Tack It over and over on my tumbler. And now I am putting, to be honest, I can't remember what the name of it is. It's a glitter that I've had for probably a year or two. And like, this is the only time of year that I ever use it. So it's a holographic copper, maybe, if that's what you want to call it. Not really sure, but it is a beautiful color. So when you're trying to do the burnish method, I'm just rolling it to make sure that I got the top of it. So what you do here is, after you put the tack it on and you put holographic glitter on, you rub over the tumbler and it burnishes the glitter onto the tumbler. And you can really only do it with a fine glitter. It's better if you do it with a holographic because you tend to get the shifting. But it turns out beautiful, and it is smooth as silk. And then all you have to do is seal it and Bob's your uncle. So that's pretty much what I'm doing here, is I'm just getting off whatever glitter's left, making sure that there's nothing left on there, and then I will be able to peel up the removable vinyl in the leaf and acorn shapes that I put on there. And that's what's nice about this method too, is you can see underneath it, unless you use like a really dark color and your glitter matches the color that you use for vinyl, which I don't recommend. So now I'm just putting the glitter back in the tub, because even when you burnish it, it's still good to go. Okay, so I sped this up like 10 times. And basically what I'm doing here is just taking off all of that removable vinyl. And what that does is that will show the glitter color underneath. And once I'm done peeling all of these pieces of vinyl up, which is actually, believe it or not, kind of soothing. It's very relaxing. But yeah, so once I'm done doing this, it will allow me to move on to the next step, which will be, of course, putting another coat of epoxy on there. Then I will put the outlines, because what I ended up doing was cutting the outlines of this, or of these features in gold metallic vinyl, gold textured metallic vinyl, and it looks really, really pretty. And once I'm done getting all this stuff on there, you will see that. Okay, now I am using the Resin Rockers Fast Set epoxy, and it'll allow me to get on to the next step in a couple hours, like 2 to 3 hours versus 6 to 7 when you use just regular set epoxy. But yeah, it comes out smooth. It's really, really good resin, and I love it for these tumblers. Of course, you see I'm dragging this poor cup all over the place. Okay, so now I am taking those outlines and I'm putting them over the corresponding spots where I peeled the removable vinyl from. And if you see me putting my hand up, it's because the light that I have in this area of my crafting space comes from the side. It's just a little desk lamp, and it was causing a really bad shine on the side of the tumbler, and because the glitter colors are so similar, I couldn't figure out where the right things were. So the struggle was real, but I do get it in the end. And while you're watching this all sped up, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, even if it's just a little smiley face. Let me know if there's something that you'd like to see me try. And then if you could hit the bell icon so you know when my next video is coming out, I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, I think after a while, there was 2 or 3 that I just was like, okay, I can't do this. So I just left them plain. Okay, so now it's time for the decal. I am using Tech Wrap adhesive craft vinyl, and it is the Halloween sheet pack. And what I did was I did 3 different vinyls, and they're all holographic. So the first color, which was the very bottom layer, I believe was like yep, there you go. So it was a very glittery green. The second one was a really pretty glittery black. And then the one that shows on the top was a really pretty copper holographic. And you just layer them. You do an offset in Cricut or Silhouette or whatever system you use. And you do an offset and then another offset. And so each one sits on top of the other, but you can still see the remnants of the outlines on the bottom. And I don't know, it just makes it pop. But anyway, the decal, I actually got this right from Cricut Design Space. It says, "I'm so cute that even leaves fall for me." And I just thought that was so adorable. And here I'm just taking off the transfer tape. Gonna make sure that it's all pressed down, there's no bubbles. And then what I end up doing is, just making sure I look over each area, because when you layer vinyl, you do tend to get bubbles. But what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna wipe the glitter. Oh my gosh, why is talking such a struggle for me today? So I'm wiping off the tumbler because I want to get all my fingerprints off, any grease that I may have had on my fingers, because what I'm going to put on there is CC DIY's Quick Coat. And the reason that I do that is because I just put a lot of vinyl on this tumbler. And unfortunately, anybody that's worked with vinyl and resin knows that sometimes when you put resin over vinyl, sometimes it repels. I don't know why. Maybe it's just chemical composition. Maybe it depends on what kind of resin it is or what kind of vinyl it is. But anywho, I don't want to get fish eyes or have it repel and look like duty. So I put this on there, and basically it's just almost like a just a thin, I don't know what it is, to be honest. It's like, it's not really like shellac, almost like an acrylic primer maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so here now what I'm doing is I am putting on a coat of the Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Artist Cure resin. And once I put on that CCDIY quick coat, it's usually within 20-25 minutes, it's completely dry, and then you can put your resin on top of it. Excuse me. So this is, and I always laugh when I hear other crafters say, this is the first of my 2 final coats. Well, can it really be a final coat if there's still another one after it? Maybe not. But anyway, this is the first of 2 coats that I will do before my cup is complete. And now I'm just going to go over it with my lighter and my torch lighter. Basically what you're doing is you're popping any bubbles that you can or can't see. When you put the resin on, a lot of times it will cause bubbles, especially with that raised vinyl, because there's 3 different layers on that decal. But yeah, and so what I've done here is off camera, I sanded it, and this is the final coat. And again, Flynn Sisters Artist Resin. Just plopping it on there. Get a really nice coat. I did have to sand it. There was, I live in Kuwait, and dust gets in everywhere. So a lot of times, even with the little net that I put on it, it gets speckles of stuff. I don't know. But anyway, I can feel it when I run my hand over the tumbler. So I normally have to sand all my tumblers and then put a final coat on. And then I put almost like a Tupperware cover over it. And that keeps the dust out. And once again, going over it with my torch to pop any bubbles. Given the fact that this is the final coat, last thing I want to have is a stray bubble. And again, as I said before, if you could do me a huge favor and subscribe, it's free. Hit the thumbs up button, leave me a comment. I'd really appreciate it. Here's what the finished tumbler looks like. And I hope you guys liked the video, and come see me for the next one. And until then, y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.